never mind. We are studying Atma Bodha, Adi Shankara's text. Review from 43 to 50. Just like sun's appearance and disappearance of darkness are not one after the other, but simultaneous, so also the rise of divine consciousness and dissolution of ignorance are simultaneous. Upon constant, consistent, regular practice, the ego, I and mine vanishes, and the Jivatma and Paramatma Aikyam. Aikyam is not two joining together. The dissolution, like a salt doll, you put it in salt in water, it dissolves by itself. So also the Jivatma merges with the Paramatma. There's only one. So there is no more seeker, and the seeker and the sought are one. One alone is, there is no second. Right now we are trying to understand intellectually. Actually, so far we have understood who I am and who I am not. In Gita chapter 6, he talks about meditation. Dhyana is meditation overall. That is a general term. But that dhyana meditation is divided into two parts. One is upasana, before the self-knowledge, and after the self-knowledge is nididhyasana. That is the entire chapter, chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga. So right now I start with always with Atma Bodha, because this is a knowledge. Once you get the knowledge, then you can go to nididhyasana. When you do upasana, you don't have the knowledge. What do you meditate on? That is the process of observing your own thoughts. Just merely observing your thoughts. That is upasana. So that's what 43, verse 43. Verse 44, when Atma is present everywhere and in all embodiments, the thoughts that I need to study, I need to learn, I need to know self-knowledge, I need to get this Atmanyanam, I need to attain that. It doesn't even make sense. I'm already that, right? Why should I do all these things? The question comes from Purva Pakshi, and the Shankara responds in this verse 44, Kanta Aparanam. Atma is in every being, but due to avidya, ignorance, it appears to have been lost, just like we look for the necklace, which is already around our neck, or our eyeglasses, or our car key, when in fact it is just in my pocket. Atma is ever present, never non-existence, never discovered, but rediscovered with Vakya Shravanat. That is Vedanta Vakya, Shruti Vakyam, Mahavakyam. Shravanam is the first step. Once we listen attentively, understand it, then you're intellectually, you know it. Then we can call ourselves a scholar or pandit. But contemplation, clarifying doubts, asking questions, getting convinced, that is all mananam. So Shravanam and mananam, they go together. And this is followed by nididhyasana, which is firmly grounded in that knowledge, which leads to samadhi further. At that point, it appears to have attained. He gave the example of 10 members crossing the river, and everyone was looking external. Their vision, their focus was external, not antaryami, self-analysis, self-reflection. That is very important. Only in spiritual level, in spiritual path, you self-reflect. No other actions Nowhere else we do that. We do the puja, prayer, meditation, worship, all those things, but we don't look inside at that point. I, the seer alone, is. When I don't know who I am, that is ignorance. That ignorance has two qualities. That is veiling power and projecting power. Avarana and Vikshepa. Say you want to see this pen, but it is completely covered. Not only it is covered, I show this. Now what we see is this, which is totally different than what is actually, right? What is this. So that's what veiling and projection mean. We hear a lot of musicians, all music, dance, drama, all those days, everything was based on this concept. Sarvam Brahma Mayam. Everything is Brahman. We heard this song from so many musicians. You can try in YouTube. But in spite of hearing those things, we don't see that way. When we see the different. We see a cat, we see a dog, we see he and she, and all appears different. What is only Brahman, but it is completely veiled and projected as the world. One who sees the world of difference is ignorant of himself. One who sees the Brahman alone in everything is realized jnani. In deep sleep, everything disappears. Only veiling is there. Superimposition is not there at that point. Once that veiling dissolves, Swayam Prakashaha, self-illumination happens. That is the symbolism of a curtain in temples. They close it. That means you have come halfway. Verse 45, just like we misunderstand a pole to be a ghost and experience fear, we see the body, mind, and intellect as I. And all the what ifs causes fear. What if I get old? What if I get sick? What if something happens to me? Or I and mine, something happens to my partner, my child, my father, my parents. All this comes because we are associating with this body, mind, and intellect. That Brahman is superimposed by human. That is ignorance. Once the truth is known, ignorance dissolves. Until then, we are in delusion. Shastra Upadesham, scriptural teachings alone can help a jiva to differentiate the truth from the appearance, Atma from Anatma. If you appears, that is ignorance. There is no second. One alone is, the seer alone is. I am the seer, I see everything happening around me. 46, just like the space is one, Brahman alone is without a second. Upon knowing that one, instantly, swiftly, the ignorance vanishes. There is no second, there is no you, and therefore there is no I. That Brahman is without any difference. No differences. Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Swagata Bedam, no Bedam at all, no differences at all. Just like upon knowing the sun, we recognize all the directions. Once you know it is east, you can figure out the other directions. Once you know the self, I am that, everything around us becomes insignificant. It is all appearances of that one. That is the divine vision, Jnana Chakshuhu, Avrita Chakshuhu. That is the third eye of Shiva, which erases the ignorance in all jiva. It doesn't, some people used to say that once Shiva opens the eye, the entire planet disappears. It disappears in the sense it doesn't get destroyed. We see Brahman alone. That is the divine vision. Verse 47, Jivan Mukti, a yogi, a realized one sees the world through divine vision. An Agyani, ignorant, sees the multiplicity. And therefore caught in this cycle of birth and death, whirlpool of all the differences, until self-knowledge is attained, we come back again and again and again and again. God knows how many births we have taken. At least we have entered into this path right now. this is the best time to, in Bhajagovindam, he says, you have this precious gift of this human life, capitalize on it. Learn this, get to know the self-knowledge, get that. One who sees one alone is a mukta, is a realized one. For a realist, the entire appearance is a dream. He knows everything rises in me, sustains in me, and dissolves in me. For an ignorant, it is all different. For a realist, there is no anger, jealousy, hatred, or fear. And there is only one. What are we going to be afraid of, angry about? He is ever bliss, in bliss, unaffected, unperturbed. That is 47. We go to 48. The clay is not apart from a pot. Before the pot appeared as a pot, and when the pot disappears, clay alone is. Trikale, before, during, and after. Similarly, Brahman alone is. Brahman is isness. Anything that exists before the appearance of the universe, as a universe, and upon dissolution. Dissolution is, in Sanskrit, it is pralayam. And our daily sleep is pralayam, nitya pralayam. It is the experience of death. It's migrating to next body. Death, that's all. It is a cyclical. We sleep, go to bed, we wake up in the morning. Right now, we wake up in the same house with the same people, same things, everything. But when you wake up in a different body, different experiences, that is actually death. It is not the end. It is cyclical process. Brahman is both the intelligent cause and the material cause of this universe. They are not two separate entities. One alone appears as many. Brahman is not different from universe. They are not two separate entities. Brahman appears as universe. Only the name and form appears due to Maya, which is ignorance. Name and form. They have no separate existence. You cannot take out, isolate a chain from a gold and say, this is chain, this is gold. You cannot isolate the wave from an ocean and say, this is wave, this is water. You cannot isolate the clay from a pot and say, this is a pot, that is a clay. No, they are one. That is 48. 49, all the conditions are prohibiting Jiva from knowing Atman. Eliminate the sun that is appearing in the bucket of water and know the true only one sun. Realize the witness consciousness and not the reflected consciousness. Upon knowing the true self, the Jiva is now realized and is that. Tat Tvam Asi, you are that, the original illumining consciousness. Everything has withered away automatically. No need to suppress anything. Nowhere it says, don't do this, don't do that. Do everything. At some point, you realize that everything is temporary. So everything automatically withers, just like a ripe fruit. When you want to pluck it, you just touch it, it will fall in your hand. A raw one, you have to pluck it. So do not suppress anything, any feelings, any thoughts. When you suppress it, they will burst out. Let that sublimate. Like a 3-year-old wants a tricycle. Same child, when he is 8 years old, he is not going to ask for tricycle. He is going to ask for a bicycle. When the same child from 8 years becomes 18, he is going to ask a motorcycle. They have to wither away. All when we are young in 20s, we buy so many Indians. We buy saris, outfits, different color, matching. When you are in 50, you don't care. They withered out, automatic, same thing. So try not to suppress anything, enjoy everything, but always be conscious that nothing is permanent. Verse 50, all ignorant humans are delusional, caught in the cycle of birth and death, the ocean of samsara. Only way is to have a boat to get out of that. That is, self-knowledge is the boat. This self-knowledge completely eradicates all likes and dislikes and leads one to liberation, moksha. All senses are projected outside. This body has 6 modifications. Likes and dislikes, rich and poor, educated, illiterate, all are in our mind. Brahman is beyond plurality. One alone is, you are that, know that, and cross the ocean of this plurality. That is the purpose of human existence. And we read about Ramayana's philosophical perspective. Jivan is the peace, 10 senses is Ramana. We read that. Now we go to verse 51 to 60 today. It's the same thing, repetition, so it will be easier because we got the foundation. Once we got the foundation, then placing one brick at a time is not very difficult. Verse 51 is Bahya Anitya Sakha Saktim Hitva Atma Sukha Nivrittaha Katastha Deepavat Sashvat Swa Antar Eva Prakashate. Jivan Mukta has no attachment, the realized one. There are no likes or dislikes. There is no I and mine, or I need this, I don't need this, accepting whatever comes in his way. No desires, no aspirations to attain, accomplish anything. Just like the space, there is no attachment to the space. Similarly, Atma Raman, that means the one who is sustained or grounded in that Atma, realized one, is not affected by anything that is happening around. Samsaram, meaning in Sanskrit, samsarati iti samsaram. That means it keeps on changing. We say change is only constant. So that is wherever there is a hold, it is samsara, a bondage. I am drawn to this, I am drawn to that. I need to get this, I need to get that, I need to go here, I need to go there. Keep on moving, doing, accomplishing, changing, modifying constantly. When one is completely happy, nothing from outside draws him. Happy from within. Wherever one is, I don't need to go to Ganges. I can be happy just sitting in my bed. I am happiness. Bahya Anitya Sukham. There is no any happiness from outside. Realized one does not expect any pleasure from outside. He knows the world is temporary. The pleasures that I get from those are also temporary. Edrichya praptaha, that means doesn't mean that he is in whatever comes, edrichya, unexpectedly, whatever comes, he accepts it. Doesn't mean that he is disinterested or depressed. He is happy from within in any given situation. To be honest with you, there is no mine, nothing is mine. We are all distributors. We get so many things and we just distribute and we are passing. That's all life is all about. We don't own anything. Nothing can, not even a penny can come with us. The popular example again is a lamp. A lamp inside a pot is always bright. It is covered with a lamp and shining. Swasakshina. No one from outside can see it. It is covered. Similarly, no one can know the realized one from outside. Self-realization is subjective. Atma Sukham cannot be explained, cannot be described. It is contentment from within. Gita talks elaborately in different chapters. Chapter 2, he refers to it as Sthita Pragyan. Chapter 13, Kshetranyan. Chapter 14, Gunatitan. What is the personality of a realized one? A realized one is not drawn to wherever the senses go. Is without likes and dislikes in the mind, firmly grounded in the self, Atman, without being drawn to anything that is external and contented within, from within. The Gita says the senses will draw us, even a jnani, it will draw a jnani, but they are very powerful because they are very powerful. And one needs to constantly be aware of oneself and stay in the jnana nishta, make every effort to stay grounded in that supreme self. That needs strong willpower. first knowledge. We need to get to know who I am not. And once we understand that intellectually, then the willpower. That is the significance of the games. If you remember, snakes and ladders. I used to play when I was 5 years, 6 years old with my grandma, 70 years ago. And she used to tell me, you can go up the ladder, reach the summit, and it's easy to slide down. So whatever you accomplish in your life, think, don't be arrogant. You can slide down any minute. Same thing with spiritual life too. I can study for 20, 30 years. I know everything, but one incident can pull me down. So be cautious. Vedanta is a double-edged sword. You have to be self-assessed at all times. That is why I keep asking for the reflections. Self-assessment is important. Verse 52. Upadishtaha api tat dharmaihi na liptaha vyomavat muni sarvavit mudavit drishtitet asaktaha vayuvat saret. That is, just like the space is not tainted with anything that is happening, whether it is a fire or a cyclone, nothing happens to space. It cannot be beaten with a stick, or a rock cannot be cut. Brahman is subtler than space. And similarly, a realized one is not affected, perturbed, disturbed, agitated by anything, any situation, not affected by the body's conditions, not affected by the flow of thoughts, emotions. Asaktaha is dispassionate. He appears like a fool or a toddler. Even scientists, the more advanced they go, like Albert Einstein was one of them. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was one of them. People those days, they called him Muda. Muda means fool. He was physically present, but he was completely in self. Same thing with Ramana Maharishi. Mirabai, Surdas, Kabirdas, there are so many realized people. Same thing with Christ. People did not realize. You cannot know the realized person. Now, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramana both had cancer. Those days when medical technology was so poor. Body will go through different difficulties. Jivan Bhukta is not affected by anything. The one who has realized. It's like just like a shirt. The shirt color goes, or the shirt is torn, he just throws it and gets another one. Same thing with Jivan Mukta. He throws this body, gets the next body. Until that is Jivan Mukta, until he realizes. Once he realized, then he sheds the body. That is Videha Mukti. Is no longer no rebirth at that point. I don't die, I shed this body. Just like when you take butter out of yogurt. In India, it's a common practice. I used to do it 40 years ago. I used to get the butter out of yogurt every day, fresh butter. We used to make it at home. And that butter, you put it in water, it is not going to mix. It is going to stay isolated. So also be a part of this world. Do your duty, yet apart from it. So it stands, that butter stands alone. So similarly, the realized one is the witness. Like the space. Space doesn't take any fragrance of wonderful flowers like rose, or the foul smell from the dirty water. The realized one accepts whatever comes in life and is not bound and is just the witness. He stays himself in Atman as a witness of everything happening. That is what the drama is going on. You are the witness. When a play is going on, you are not bound. You are not affected by whatever emotion that is happening there. Same thing with universe. Verse 53. Upadi vilayat Vishnu nirvisesham vishen munihi jale jalam viyat vyomi tejas tejasi yata. In 52, we read that Jivan Mukta is not affected by anything. In spite of having this body, operating in this transactional reality, The realized one is not affected by the qualities, characteristics of the physical body. He is ever present, unchanging Atma, a witness of this body. The space inside a pot and the universal space are one. Space cannot be limited by a pot. It's coming. Space cannot be limited by a pot. So in our home, we have space. We have bedroom, living room, kitchen, bathroom, everything. The space is limited by the walls. You break all these walls, there's only one space. You break the neighboring houses, there's only one space. One vast space. Similarly, Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta is all pervasive, considers the entire universe as his home. My home is not just this home, this city, this state, this country. No, I am all pervasive. One family. In Sanskrit, Vasudeva Kudumbam. That means one humanity. There is only one humanity. And when you include all the animals, plants, everything, there is only one. And for such a realized one, there are no wants and needs. Upon shedding the body is referred as Videha Mukti, without the Deham, without the body. He has attained, realized. Prarabdha karma creates this body. That is the cause of this body. Whatever we have done, performed, the consequences. Vedanta does not accept Big Bang theory. Big Bang theory is scientific. Vedanta does not accept. Nothing can come out of nothing. There has to be something. There has to be a cause and effect. Nothing can come out. Prarabdha, therefore, is the cause of this body. Because scientists, all they see is outside. They see the planet. They invent new planets every few years. The periphery keeps expanding. But who is the seer? That is the question. The realized one, when the prarabdha is exhausted, sheds the body, the physical body is gone. He merges with that one. Just like he gives examples in this verse 53, Jale Jalam, just like the rivers in the ocean. I was in Triveni Sangam near Ganges in 2013. Three rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati, they merge. They are different color. One is blue, one is Saraswati is underwater, one is green. They all merge. The name and form dissolves. Everything is but one ocean. So also realized person dissolves in that one. Viyat Yoni, pot space to cosmic space. Tejas Tejavi, little flame unto the fire. They are not two separate, they merge. When a flame is taken next to the fire, it merges. Upon shedding all the three bodies, gross, subtle, and causal bodies, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira, the prarabdha does not sprout again, meaning there is no rebirth. A seed can sprout when it is thrown in the soil, when the conditions are conducive, it will sprout. But a roasted seed will never sprout. We buy and eat roasted sunflower seeds. It will never sprout. Similarly, the prarabdha karma is roasted in this fire of knowledge. Jnana Agni will never sprout. That means there is no rebirth. Now we go to verse 54. Yellabhat na apara labha, yat sukhat na aparam sukam, yat jnatvat na aparam jnanam, tat brahma iti avadarayet. First line is from Gita, chapter 6.22. The second line is from Chandogya Upanishad 7.23. The third line is from Mundaka Upanishad 1.3. This entire Atma Bodha is a gist of Upanishads. That is why I take this text first. That way we get the gist of Upanishads. Then you can read any book, any subject, the subject is the same, the theme is the same. So 54 and 55 are the pointers, metaphors. So he's saying, Yellabhat na apara labha, gaining which there is no other profit, no other gain to gain. Everything is, you got it already. Attains that beyond which there is no other happiness. Yet sukatna aparam sukam. There is nothing else. This is ultimate bliss. Yet jnatvatna aparam jnanam. Attaining this knowledge. There is no other knowledge. Everything is information for the intellect. This is the knowledge. There is only one knowledge, self-knowledge, Atma Jnanam. That is Brahman. That is you. Know that. Such a realized one is not affected, dejected, depressed at any amount of huge volume of challenges or sorrow that one faces. You are that. All the things happening is all around you for your mind and body. You are none of this. When we understand Aham Brahmasmi, nothing can shake, nothing can destroy me because I am ever present. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had throat cancer. He mentioned that to his guru, Turyananda. And Turyananda said, you are that happiness. He said, you are right. We need to be constantly reminded of this. All profits, gains, happiness, knowledge, all encompassed in that one Brahman. That is Brahman. That Brahman is Purnam, complete. You are always full, complete. Nothing is no less. But we get offended because we are associating with our body and mind. There is a story very popular in Chandogya Upanishad. It comes Narada wants to know. He asked Sanat Kumara. Sanat Kumara is one of the son of Brahma, the creator. And he says, I am sad. My mind is not in peace. Please guide me towards inner peace. And Sanat Kumara says, tell me what you know. I'll teach you beyond that. When that question is asked, we always give a big biodata. Tell me what you know. I know this, I know that. Same thing. It's like a proficiency test. You need to know where you are so we can build further. Narada replies to that question, I have studied 4 Vedas. I have studied financial management, legality, justice, astrology, astronomy, yoga, all faculties of arts and science. He gives a big list. We also do that. We write a big resume. These are just information. Sanat Kumara says, these are just information. What needs to be known to attain that inner presence. And he teaches self-knowledge to Narada. In Chandogya Upanishad, it says, Yovai Bhuma Tat Sukham. That happiness is limitless. Whenever something is limited, it is not complete. It is not Purna. It is pleasure and information. That Brahman alone is beyond all this plurality. Know that. That is I. That is me. That is I. Another name for Brahma is Bhuma in Sanskrit. Bhuma means there is no limit, limitless, nectar, immortality. There was another story explains there was a young prince. We all have heard about this. And the king gave his comfort, gave him all the comforts. So the prince never felt any kind of negativity, shortages, deficiency. So he raised him without any exposure to any kind of struggles and sufferings. We do that with our children. We want our children to get the best, more than what we had, always, all parents. He had many servants who would answer to every call. One day, he happened to see an old man walking with a stick across the gate. He opened the gate, came out, and he saw 4 men carrying a dead body. He started questioning life, wanted to find out the sorrowless, sufferingless existence, and he became Buddha. The word Buddha means enlightened. We are all in that path. I visited these places in 2013, Bodha Gaya, where he was enlightened under a Bodhi tree. Lumbini in Nepal is his birthplace. Sarnath in Kushinagar, UP, which is near Varanasi, is the place where he first gave his speech, teaching on enlightenment, on self-knowledge. And he passed away in Kushinagar. That is, he shed his body. That enlightenment is abiding in self-knowledge, highest knowledge, only knowledge, and that is the ultimate happiness. Every pleasure, joy, amusement, delight, elation are all petty to that supreme bliss. That is what you are. You are already in bliss. But because your mind is delusional, you always keep saying, I am suffering because of this, because of that. Nothing. You are full of bliss. Just like when you know the clay, you know all that is made out of clay. Know the self from which all appear. Names and forms, appearance have no separate existence. Brahman is the foundation, substratum, essence of all. That is Sat. Sat means trikale, 3 times. It's ever existent. That is 54. Now we go to 55. Emphasis of 54 is same as 55. Both are same. Yad drishtva na aparam drishyam, yad bhutva na punam bhavet, yad jnatva na aparam jnanam, tat brahma iti avadarayet. Avadarayet means know it, know this. That which is seen, there is no other. Once that is seen, there's nothing else to see. Once that is realized, there is no rebirth. Yat drishtva na aparam drishyam. There's nothing to see. Yat bhutva na punam bhavet. No rebirth. Yat jnatva na aparam jnanam. Upon knowing which, there is nothing else to know. That is Brahman. What are the benefits of self-knowledge? You are fearless. Once you know it is a rope, that you are fearless. The snake is gone. There's no fear. Fearless existence is freedom from samsara. That is moksha. That is nirvana. That is liberation without any bondage. You are not afraid of anything. I am going to die is the fear. I am not going to die. I am going to shed this body. I'm going to lose someone. No, you are not going to lose. There is no second. You alone is mentally detached from everything. We are all co-travelers in this journey of life. Remember that. We are co-travelers. When we are kids, we want a window seat in the train or an aeroplane. Do not get attached to it because you have to get down at some point. Same thing with this life. We will all have to get off somewhere, sometime. So if you get attached to it, then you are putting yourself in trouble. So enjoy what you have when you have, because tomorrow you may not have it. The best thing is do your duty, be kind, compassionate. That's all you can do. Only self-knowledge gives a human that inner peace. Such an individual knows it is a rope, and the rope alone is. It appears to be a snake causing fear in me. Self, the inner person, Atman alone is without a second. There is nothing to suffer. Suffering is in the mind. Things happen, situations happen, incidences happen. They are all events. Forget it. My dad used to tell me, don't carry baggage. Because I used to, when I was in school days, I lost him when I was 9th grade. So when I was in 7th, she said this in school, he said this, I will come back and I'll be thinking, he said, don't carry baggage. Sleep without taking anything with you. It is very important. Do not carry the incidences in your mind. It is okay that he said it, she said it, forget it, try to forget it. People say, it's easy to forgive, but can't forget it. That is because we don't have the mind in our control. We let the mind go. Keep that in your mind. Nothing can disturb you. You are the bliss. Self, the inner person alone is nothing to suffer. That is the ultimate goal of human existence. Pain and pleasure, heat and cold, rich and poor, male, plants, animals, all are pluralities. All are appearances created by Maya, the power of Brahman, to delude, and we get deluded. Brahman alone is, and that is you. Know that. Tat Tvam Asi. You are that power. You are always supreme. Sarva Shaktiman. Verse 56. Trayag Urdvam Atap Purnam Satchit Anandam Avyayam Anantam Nityam Ekam Yat Tat Brahma Iti Avadarayet. Trayag means all quarters, all four directions. News. News means north, east, west, south. From all directions. That's what news word means. Above, below, up, down, here, there, north, east, west, south, everywhere. Aham Brahmasmi. I am there everywhere. All pervasive, Purnam, complete. Line 2, Satchit Anandam Avyayam. That is self-explanatory. That means I am existence, consciousness, bliss, unchanging. In Vedanta, Nirguna Brahman is compared to space. Anytime you compare two things, there has to be similarities and differences. Otherwise, they are same. There has to be at least one difference. When we say my son or that child is ferocious in mathematics, it doesn't mean he has 4 legs and 1 tail. It just means that he is as relentless as that animal, as a lion. That's what it means. So it's comparison, similarities and differences. Space and Brahman. Space is limitless, Brahman is limitless. Space has no modification, no changes, Brahman has no changes. Space is Ekam, only one, Brahman is also only one. Space is all pervasive, Brahman is also all pervasive. But the only difference is space has no chit, chaitanya, knowledge. Space doesn't know I exist. Space has no happiness. Whereas Brahman is knowledge itself. Atman is knowledge. I exist. Only Atman knows. And I am bliss. I am happiness. I am not happy because of something. I am happiness. Anything that comes, I am happiness. Nothing can affect me. I have the shackles. It will come and go back. Atma is Nityam, Ekam, without modification. You are that, know that, Avadarayet, know that, understand that. Verse 57. Atatya vritti rupene vedantaihi lakshyate avyam akantanandam ekam yat tat brahma iti avadarayet. One can move to higher understanding of Brahman only by negating and only through Vedic scriptures. All that are accessible to 5 senses needs to be eliminated. What is beyond this is that these senses can help us to know everything in the world. All objects, everything is known through 5 senses, but not the subject. I cannot see myself with a telescope. I cannot see myself with a microscope. I cannot see myself with a flashlight. We can know, understand, and realize Atman only through scriptures and Guru's words. We have seen the 6 modalities of knowledge. Direct experiences through 5 senses. Through inference, there is a smoke and there is a fire. Therefore, there is a fire. Upamana, comparison. Arthapati, which is cause and effect. There is a flood, therefore it was rain. It was raining. Anupalapti is through negation, and Sabda Pramanam is scriptures and Guru. Now, what is the process of negation? How can I know that? He says Nirakara, that is, Brahman is Adrishyam, Arupam, Asabdam, Asparsham, Agantam. That means beyond form, beyond sound, no touch, beyond taste and beyond smell. Negate all that is seen, negate all that is heard, negate all that is touched, negate all that is tasted, negate all that is smelt. None of those are Brahman. Negation of all this that you gain through senses. It is avyayam, without modifications. Body has 6 modifications: existence, birth, growth, disease, decay, death. I am not that. I am none of this. This removes the annamaya kosha, the food sheath, completely. Then anything that is with the dimension is all removed. Now next one is nishkriyam, without action. Prana, birth, the breath that we take, that is vikaram. That means it is going up and down. It is calm, quiet. Sometimes suddenly it goes, when we are angry or hungry or afraid, it goes, the palpitation increases. So that is action. But I am without action. Therefore, I am not breath. I am not pranaha, apranaha. That eliminates the pranamaya kosha, the air sheath. Then nirvikaram, no changes in the thought. The mind is thinking differently. I'm happy now, I'm sad, I'm afraid, I'm frustrated. All these things, modifications happens in the mind. I am not this mind. So gross body is eliminated. Now this sukshma sharira, that is subtle body, is eliminated. Manonmaya kosha is eliminated. I am nirguna, no impression, no residues. Negates the causal body. So now the 3 bodies, the gross body, the subtle body, the causal body, all 3 are negated. What is left is self. I am. I alone is one limitless self. And know that you are that. You are that limitless self. Now verse 58. Akantananda rupasya tasya ananta lava asrataha brahmadaya taratamyena bhavanti anandino akilaha. Nirguna Brahman is limitless, happiness, ocean of bliss. Self-knowledge is supreme. In Gita, he calls it as Shreyas, supreme. And all pleasures that we experience in life, in this birth, but even birth and death, they are all prayas. Prayas means pleasures, temporary pleasures. Every pleasure has a pain. I enjoy ice cream. I can take 2 spoons, 3 spoons, 5 spoons. Beyond that, I will have stomachache. Every pleasure has a pain. Combine all the pleasures of all plants, animals, birds, deities, humans. It is just a glimpse of that supreme presence. We experience it when we go to waterfalls or big mountain. I was in Zion National Forest in Utah. I felt the bliss. It is just a glimpse of it, glimpse of that bliss. All pleasures are alpanandam, that is very insignificant. Shudranandam, they call it in Sanskrit. Insignificant compared to that bliss. That is niradishayanandam, that means ever present bliss. There's nothing beyond that. All we experience is all proportionately different. An ant is happy with 1 grain of rice. A kitty cat needs 2 spoons of milk. A dog needs much more. The human beings never satisfied, want more and more and more. All beings that exist, all are leaning on that one, dependent on that one supreme bliss. All experiences, pleasures, delights, joy, jubilation, glee, elation, amusement, you can call it with any word. They are all glimpse of that one. But you are that. Never underestimate. When you say I'm not happy, that is the mind speaking. That is the mind, intellect. You are bliss. Now verse 59. Tyakyaktam akilam vastu vyavaharaha tadanvidaha tasmat sarvagatam brahma shire sarpihi iva akilam. Atma is everywhere, all pervasive in everything. There is nothing without Atma. All activities are dependent on Atma. When you like a flower, when you like a person, you love someone or a pet, that is because This Atma recognizes that Atma. Everything that exists is because of that. The Brahman is the isness, existence. Atma does not exist. It is existence with a capital E. In the absence of Atma, nothing exists. No light, no darkness. That is why when a dead body is not able to reflect Atman, Atman is there, but the body is not functional. It cannot see the light, it cannot see the darkness. I love this person. I love my child. I love my partner. I love this cat. I love my parents. Because this Atma, recognize the Atma in that one. That is the significance of our saying in India, we do this Namaste. Means the Atma in this body recognizes the Atma in that body. In some places, we shake hands, same meaning. Atma in this body recognizes the Atma in some. Others have a hugging. They hug each other. They kiss each other in the cheeks. It all means the same. The Atma in this. That is why we connect. That is, we see the oneness. When we don't, that means our thoughts are deluding us. I don't hug that person because my thought is deluding that he is separate from me. Line 1, Tat Yaktam Akilam Vastu. That Atma is in all. Nothing exists without that existence. Vyavaharaha Tatanvitaha. Every moment, the grass moves because of that Atman is there. Without that Atman, nothing will happen in the universe. It stands still. Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma. Therefore, it is piercing, penetrating, permeating through every appearance. Shire Sarvebehe Iva Akilam. Just like butter is in the entire milk. You can take out the butter from the yogurt, but still the milk has butter in it. You may not be able to see it. You may not be able to separate it. It is still there. Similarly, Brahman is in all existence. If you see a snake, you are ajnani. That means you are ignorant of the rope. If you see a rope, you are jnani. You know it is a rope. Atma is Satchit Anandam, existence, consciousness, bliss. In Sanskrit, Asti Bhati Priyam. Existence, consciousness, bliss plus Namarupam. Namarupam, that is everything that in this universe is existence, consciousness, bliss plus name and form. A jnani, a realized one, has no difference as Atma or Anatma. If we like people, she is handsome, she is beautiful. But where is the beauty? Beauty is only skin deep. Inside, if you go, there is nothing but muscles, bones, flesh, and blood. Nobody is going to like all those. So it's all in the mind. When we don't see Atma, there is no love. Atma alone is love. That is why self-reflection is always important. Where am I? Do I like this one? Do I like anybody? Do I dislike someone? Do I hate someone? We have to keep assessing ourselves and see. If I don't like somebody, that means my mind is deluded. I am not looking at Atman. I am looking at the form and name. All negative thoughts that humans have are of the mind. With those thoughts, one cannot realize Atman. Love is the only gateway. To love one should be able to see the oneness in all. That is the essence. That is the existence in all. Sat, that is Sat. Sat which present everywhere at all times. Just like the butter in the milk. Now the Purapakshi is asking, how can you say Brahman is all piercing? Because it cannot be described, it cannot be explained directly. That leads to adjectives in verse 60. Verse 60, An anuhu astulam adirgam ajam abhyayam arupam gunavarnakyam tat brahma iti avadharayet. Existence alone is absolute existence. Atma is arupam, without form, but it illumines all forms. Anuhu is neither small, astulam, not big, ahrishyam, neither short, adirgam, not long, ajam, without birth, avyayam, does not change, arupam, without form, agunam, without properties, varnakyam, there is no name and color. We cannot say that person is black, this person is white. That is in our mind. Everyone has, there is Atma in every being. You cannot pinpoint Atma. Atma alone can know everything. That is Chit, Chaitanyam, knowledge. Nothing else can know. If a pen can know the phone, the pen and phone will start talking to each other. They don't know. Adrishyam, Atma alone can see everything, but nothing can see Atma. Ashabdam, Atma alone can hear everything, but Atma cannot be heard by anything. Asparsham, the touching, the feeling are known by Atma, but nothing can touch and feel Atma. He further explains the same thing about Agandham and Arasam. Arasam, that is smell. Atma alone can smell everything, but nothing can smell Atma. Atma alone can taste. Nothing can taste Atma. Atma is Anadi, no beginning. Ajam, no birth, therefore Anantam, limitless, no death. The periphery keeps expanding. Scientists are finding out new planets, which is all information for the brain. We can write books on new planets, but it will keep more will keep upgrading. What we learned, what we know today will be changed in another 3-5 years. I remember when I was young, we had a landline. We can speak only for 3 minutes, then it will cut off. Now we have computers and cell phones and instant messaging. Things will change. Now coming the artificial intelligence, new technology is coming. It's never ending. Now, these things are keep on changing. This is all information for the brain. Atma is avyayam, without any modifications. We can see plants, animals, mountains, rivers, rocks, all modified, denudation, deposition. I was again in a national forest. The mountains were all changing what they were 100,000 years ago. But Atma will never change. Atma is ever present. Achintyam, it cannot be thought of, unthinkable, cannot be conceptualized. Nityam, ever present. Stiram, firm, grounded. Achalam, does not move, immovable. Purnam, Atma cannot be known by the body and 5 elements. Atma cannot be known by mind, which is made up of 5 rudimentary elements. Knowing is Atma, because it is knowledge, Chit, Chaitanya. We see, touch, taste, smell, everything on a daily basis. And none of these know me, I am that. Everything is known because of that Atma. And one who knows because his essence is Atma. He knows. I know this because I am the essence. Without that essence, these eyes cannot see. Nothing will happen with this body. This body is a tool. It's a location. That's it. And to know that Atma, Jivan need divine grace. With the very fact that we are in this Atmajnana path, we all have divine grace. Not everybody comes to this path. Now, with that, I'm going to show you a PowerPoint presentation quickly. Share screen. Looks like I didn't open it. Show all windows. Okay, 1 minute. Oh, Okay. Share screen. This is verse 47. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. The world is like a dream. You go to dream, you are sleeping, you're dreaming, and you see everything happening in the dream. I see myself in the dream. Only when I wake up, I know that was a dream. And that dream was created by mind, sustained in my mind until I woke up, dissolved in my mind. So also the world is a dream. We are all in the dream state right now. We need to get out of it. And the only way to is wake up. Know who am I? Know that. You are that. Once you know, then everything is a drama. This is Narada approaching the Sanat Kumaras. Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanantana, and Sanat Kumara. The Kumaras are 4 sages, rishis from the Puranic text, firstborn creations of the sons of the creator, Brahma. And they guide him with the self-knowledge. The space inside this part and the space in the universal spot, they are one. There's only one. You cannot separate that with a part. So also this is our body. I am that. I am Atman, and this is Brahman. Atman and Brahman are only one and the same, but we think they are different because of our ignorance. Each one is not, there may be multiple parts may be there, but there is only one space. 53, verse 53, same space, Vyat Vyomi. This space and this space are one. All the multiple rivers, it can be Nile, Mississippi River, Ganges River, any river, they all merge into ocean. There's only one water body. This flame merges into this fire. There's only one fire. So there's only one Brahman. This is just for your information. This is the birthplace of Buddha, Lumbini. I was there in 2013. Bodhi tree, this is a tree under which he got enlightened. This is where he gave Sarnath near Varanasi. He gave the first speech on Advaita Vedantic text. Then this is Bodh Gaya, that's where the temple is there right now. And this is in UP, Uttar Pradesh. That's where he shed his body. This is verse 55. We are all co-travelers. Anyone can exit at any time during this travel. I cannot go with somebody because that car is driven by my friend. Poonam is driving, so I want to drive that way. No, I cannot. It is her destination. My destination is further. Or she cannot follow me because I am exiting. We are all in our own path. We cannot compare. I cannot say that is Tesla. This is Camry. This is BMW. I want that. No, we get cars based on our income. We get life based on our karma. We cannot aspire for another one. We have to drive, follow the rules and drive and be respectful of others. That's all we can do for safe driving. Same thing with the life. Life is a journey and this body is a tool, is a location, and mind is the tool. We need to use them very wisely. This is again, we have seen this in verse 33, 41, and 57 also, different modes of knowledge. Through senses, then inference, comparison, cause and effect, through negation, and Guru's words. So with that, we complete the session today up to verse 60. We are done with 60 today. We have 8 more verses. So let me complete this and then we can chat for a few minutes. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.